Yes. So I'm sure Vishal, now looking at where iMocha is currently, do you think it has entered the stratosphere?
Sorry, can you repeat that, Amit?
Do you think iMocha, your company, has entered the stratosphere?
Yeah, very much. Because as Buck said, right, the first few years are very important. So what happened in iMocha also, iMocha started a journey back in 2012, 2013, right? And till about 2015, uh, the current product line that we have is nothing that we had in 2013 to 2015. 2013 to 2015, uh, uh, iMocha was into a video platform, right? 2015 onwards, we actually started a journey and we started with the SMBs. Then slowly we moved to the mid enterprises kind of thing. And now I can proudly say that we have, let's say, five out of the most popular, 10 most popular, 10 most bigger IT services company, for example. We have 20 out of the 500 Fortune companies kind of thing. So definitely iMocha has gone into that, the layer where there's no looking down now.
Super, wonderful. So
Excellent.
Vishal, you have worked in Amdocs, which is a larger company compared to
Right.
iMocha. And what's the difference now? You chose, you spent almost 17 years in Amdocs, and now you went on to a younger company, I would say.
Right.
Why should somebody of your skill set do that?
Okay, so there are multiple aspects to it, Amit. I mean, I will not say that is an bigger organization better or is a startup better. Both have its both pros and cons. I definitely enjoyed my 17 years of journey with Amdocs. There was a lot to learn. There was an international exposure that I could get. Right, I worked with almost 20 different nationalities. For example, I was in different countries over there. The amount of work, I mean, I was talking in millions of dollars of work, for example, at the same time, right, when I was handling a project. Uh, but then I had a team of around 150 people to do a project, right? But when I come to iMocha, for example, it's a completely different demography. I have a much more smaller team. It's a product-based company because Amdocs is a product-based company with an implementation layer, but iMocha is completely product-based. The decisions are much more faster, right? I can take a decision which is quicker, which is much more faster. I don't have to go to the upper management kind of thing. A quick discussion with the founders and everything. Tomorrow, I guess I can get into product. The other thing, since this is a cloud-based this thing, I mean, it's a cloud-based webinar. Uh, for example, when I was talking for a particular infrastructure acquisition in Amdocs, for example, right? The BOQs and everything, it takes 3 months, 4 months of time. Now, since iMocha is completely into cloud, for example, today I decided I go for a Windows machine, for example. My product line is running on a Windows machine. Tomorrow I can see that the same product line has to run on a Windows, on a Ubuntu machine, for example. So everything is much more faster in the startup world, right? So I hope I answered the question, but I could spend almost 2 hours of my time on talking of this very interesting question.
Well, it's the same reason why I would prefer to work with a small, medium business versus a enterprise business, right? Because it doesn't go anywhere. It's too long. The process is too long. Like people get disinterested. That's why startup culture is so fascinating to people, because it's like the new entrepreneur, but it's like the new, I call it like the new rock star, right? Because you can imagine, my analogy is in high school in the 70s, everybody dropped out of high school and bought a guitar. They wanted to be a rock star. In the 21st century, everybody drops out of university and it starts a startup, right? It's like they want that. They want those Lamborghinis and wearing hoodies all day, you know, no 9 to 5. Yeah. But Buck, I just wanted to say, when you were saying about the airport, I was thinking focus group. A lot of these startups are trying to force a service or a product in the market, like, you know, that no one needs, no one wants. Mm-hmm. It's like their vision, they're blinded by their vision. And then they go the whole way. Like I'm talking like investments. They start looking for angel investors. They go loans. They construct this reality that isn't even something that it's useless, right? Exactly. It happens all the time. I see it in Toronto all the time. And I look at whatever they're doing and I'm like, power to your motivation, but that ain't going on my phone.
Exactly. You know, very, very important, Jason, because they are so enamored by what they have thought about, sitting in a dorm somewhere, and that's great. because that's how things begin. But one of my earliest questions is to people is that who is going to buy this?
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
And, you know, people have to pivot a dozen times. Like Vishal mentioned, what they did till 2015 is totally different from what they do today. And that's the interesting, and that is why if you see, I will add just a quick note to what both Vishal and Jason said. That is why if you see my profile, I have focused on pre-founding to Series A. Series B, Series C, they are much more mature. They know what to do. Even though I may make more money there, it's not really something that I feel satisfaction that I sort of help create something.
Yeah.
That is why pre-founding to Series A, I find very interesting space to work in.
Yeah, that's it. And I would compare that to like the start, right? Like for me, it's once everything starts moving the way it should be, right? When everything's in place. Once you have the perfect, I call it the perfect business, right? Where you're not in it technically, let's be honest, you know, most business owners are business operators. That's like what I focus on since pandemic. But it's totally, we're all talking about the same thing. It's like it's way easier in a smaller ecosystem for sure. Everything's easier in a smaller ecosystem.
Sure. Absolutely.